Bitcoin remains on track for $100,000 by year end of 2024, according to Standard Chartered. Now, before we get into their rhyme and their reasoning, I want to ask you all this. Do you think Bitcoin will hit 100K by the end of 2024? And if you don't, do you think Bitcoin will hit 100K at any point in time? Or are you basically just saying like, actually, no, it's never going to get there? Or are you more of like, yeah, I see 100K, but maybe not necessarily in the next calendar year type of a deal? Things are going as expected, according to the Standard Chartered Bank, reiterating its April forecast that Bitcoin would reach 100K by the end of 2024. The new catalyst, wrote the bank's Jeff Kendrick and team, will be the approvals of several US-based spot Bitcoin ETFs, which they expect are likely to come sooner than expected. So right now, there's many companies vying for this. And if you've been paying attention to what's going on with Gary Gensler, the SEC, and all the judge rulings, it basically sounds like, yes, we are going to be getting a spot Bitcoin ETF, most likely right after that. And Ethereum one will quickly follow. But I mean, the names like ARK Invest, BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, these companies are all in the running for a spot Bitcoin ETF. And why it's so important is because not only do you have regulatory clarity now, but on top of that, think about just the total money in retirement accounts in the US. We're talking trillions of dollars, 10, 11 trillion dollars. So this is now a way for them to easily invest directly in Bitcoin. We already have Bitcoin futures ETFs, but that's cash settled. That's not physically settled, as in it's not the real McCoy. As in when you put money into that ETF, you're not buying Bitcoin, you're buying Bitcoin futures. Now with a spot Bitcoin ETF, if they put money into those ETFs are literally buying Bitcoin. So not only is it the regulatory clarity, but now we're getting more highway on-ramps for Wall Street and like legitimate sums of money to get into the world of crypto, specifically Bitcoin. That's why it's a big deal. We think a number of spot ETFs will be approved in Q1 of 2024 for both BTC and ETH, paving the way for institutional investment. The team also reminded that the next Bitcoin halving, a mechanism to limit the supply and currently expected to take place in April of 2024, will be another source of price upside. Put simply, everything is working as expected. BTC's dominance remains intact. Its shares of overall digital assets market cap has increased from 50% from 45% in April. So slightly going up with Bitcoin. I know right now there's a lot of excitement in Ethereum. There's a lot of excitement in Solana. I own all of them, but I just want to let you know most of my money is in Bitcoin. I don't actively trade crypto. I'm kind of sitting on it and hoping it really plays out in the long run. I think there is a chance for multiple winners. I hope I'm in the multiple winners. So it's interesting to see. At first, a decade ago, Wall Street didn't care about this at all. All analysts thought it was a joke. And now we have legitimate mainstream media. We have legitimate Wall Street funds. We have legitimate legal battles all surrounding the world of crypto. And at this point in time, for posterity's sake, we're talking about this in late 2023. It had gone up to 69K, came all the way down to about 15K, and now we're talking about a potential rally all the way back up to 100K. Obviously, if this happens, and I'm not guaranteeing that it will, I hope it does because I'm invested in it myself, and I think there's a lot of enthusiasm around this. But if it happens, I think there's just going to be more excitement than we could even imagine relative to the crypto excitement in 2021. But obviously, time will tell. So Bitcoin looking very, very good. And I kind of just break it down on the weekly since I am invested in it. I think at a certain point, there's going to be a pullback into the EMA cloud. But at this point, what I would love to see is this test of 41K, somewhere between 40 and 41K. That would be my next major resistance where I'm like, okay, maybe a bit of a breather. And if it somehow just rips past that, well, then I'm looking all the way up here at 48K.